SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Does that tree have you worried? Want to get it cut down before the next storm? You need to call Max Tree Service and Land Management for your free estimate. Don't wait till it's too late. Call us today at 601-695-1717 or check us out on Facebook. Max Tree Service.
And now, Sports.
Get ready, sports fans. It's time for Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming worldwide on the SuperTalk Mississippi app and on your Amazon Alexa devices. Chasing Foul Balls, your weekly source for all the sports news and interviews important to Southwest Mississippi. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank. And now, here's your host, Robbie Hamilton.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Friday edition of Chasing Foul Balls right here on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5. Glad to have you along with us. Today, our guest will be the head football coach of the 5A state champion Brookhaven Panthers, Darien Dorsey. And y'all sports, Cliff Furr. A lot to talk about this week, to say the least. In the studio with me, we got the Old Fart group again together today. To my left, Dr. Overalls, Mr. TP, Richard Hay, how are you?
Just fine, Robbie.
And to the right, the stranger himself, the Professor, Leo Randall.
Good to be back with y'all. Y'all don't seem to have changed much since I saw you last.
Did she let you out of jail or what?
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't want to talk about that.
Get out of jail free card.
No, he didn't even got one. No. She let him out of jail card. Let's get it right to what exactly is, isn't it? Let's go to work, boys. We got a lot to talk about this morning. Of course, you can hear all our previous programs on our podcast on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. And you can check out what's going on in sports all through the week by checking out our Facebook page at Chasing Foul Balls. Hope you will do those too. So, first off, Ole Miss came in at the number 6 spot in the college football playoffs. They will get Tulane a week from tomorrow in Oxford. Mr. Randall, you surprised that Ole Miss kept the 6th spot?
No, I think when you're sitting there at 11-1 and lost a game that you probably could have won, I think 6 is a good spot for Ole Miss. But I really don't like these rematches, and there are a couple of them in there. You know, I think Alabama's got to play Oklahoma again, but it's hard to beat someone twice.
Mr. Hay?
Yeah, Robbie, I thought the way it shook out with the weekend and that they probably weren't going to go up. They would maybe go down depending on what happens above them. But them staying right where in that, I guess, 5, 6, 7 range is where they were going to stay. But they didn't play, so I didn't think they were going to get moved unless somebody else did something big or lost big. But yeah, it's a good first round matchup playing Tulane.
Did y'all think that all the turmoil with Kiffin and the coaches and all that would affect it? Are you surprised that they kept them at 6 and didn't move them down for that, or is that was something they just didn't take into consideration?
I'm guessing it's something they didn't take into consideration because we've seen stranger things than that happen with the rankings. Case in point, Florida State a couple of years ago. But I'm not really surprised by anything that happens in college athletics anymore.
And when you have a committee, it could have gone either way. But I think, the fact that they must not have taken too much of it into consideration, and they just left them where they were. And that's a benefit to them because they get a home game in Oxford.
The committee really took a beating as far as the press goes, as far as leaving Notre Dame out. When you look at everything else, the fact that Vanderbilt didn't get in. When are we going past 12? Are we going to 16 next year?
Well, Robbie, I guess we probably need to, maybe have to, but you get to a point where how many more games are you going to add to the end of the – and we're going to 13 games next year overall. So if you play, the pros play 20 with what they got. You're soon approaching that point with the colleges. I just don't know how much more you go, because if you go to 16, number 17 is going to be mad.
Exactly. And if you go to 24 or 30, the one that's left out or the ones that are left out are going to have their feelings
We have
hurt.
68 in the basketball, and number 69 and 70 fuss.
But look at the fact that the SEC, for example, they go into a 9-game season. That means 8 teams are going to have another loss.
Exactly.
8 teams will have another loss. You almost have to go past 12 if you'll keep it at that 1-loss, 2-loss situation, or you're not going to have teams from the SEC or the Big Ten or whatever in the playoffs.
That's a dilemma of expanding, especially when you expand. I wasn't for expanding the conference schedule because of that exact thing. I said, well, you're just going to give everybody another loss. And then you're going to have to say, well, strength of schedule and all that. Well, nobody else is going to look at it that. They're going to say, well, you've got 4 losses. Well, they might be the really good teams, but you've got 4 losses compared against somebody that's got 2 losses. But they didn't play in a power conference, so to speak. So I'm glad I'm not on that committee.
Oh, I don't know. We might could get you on. Robbie's got a lot of influence.
That's right. At 504 Poplar Street, I got a lot of influence.
Yep.
Past that, so we runs the house there. So
I was just going to, have you got a lot at 504 Poplar?
Well, when I'm by myself, I do. Last Friday, we were sitting here, and we all left and said, well, old Charles Huff, he going to stay around another year at Southern Miss. And what happens? We get up Saturday morning, and Charles Huff done left and gone to Memphis State. Well, they take Blake Anderson, the offensive coordinator, and make him the head coach yesterday. What's your thoughts about Mr. Huff there, Richard?
Well, Robbie, I was hoping for what a lot of Southern Miss people were hoping for, but with the number of coaching changes, the jobs that were open, and everybody we talked to said they understood, this is not a long-term deal with Coach Huff. He's probably and I'm sitting there thinking like, all these other jobs, or somebody's going to come calling, and if he thinks he can move up and it's a better job and a better place and a chance to get, I said, I just don't see how he can hold him. But I was hoping for the Eagles and my Southern Miss friends and fans that they would, but not surprised that a job came open that he said I can move to there and move on. So, unfortunate for Southern Miss.
But what it does is tough for a program, Neil.
Oh, it is. It is, especially when it's one that you would like to keep. But I was hoping he would stay because he obviously made a big difference in Hattiesburg. But I don't think Southern Miss had the wherewithal to keep him. I don't think they could outbid someone else, and I hate that. But that's just the way of the world we live in today.
To me, the big shock came at Tulane. John Summerall takes the job in Florida. Tulane takes former Southern Miss head coach Will Hall, and now he's the head coach at Tulane. Y'all surprised that Hall got the job at Tulane?
I was kind of semi-surprised. I originally thought he had gone down there as the OC, which was the position he had held before. But then I saw here the other day that he was not the OC, he was the passing game coordinator. So I guess in this day and time you have a coach for everything. But they bumped him on up, and I'm glad to see Tulane do well.
Well, I guess, Robbie, I was surprised that they would
so quickly because the last time he was a head coach, it didn't go so well. Now he had success at Tulane when he was the OC back before. But to be, as you said, Neil, the passing game coordinator, but maybe they looked at it like he's the only one on staff that had head coach experience. I don't know. But I was surprised that Will Hall got the head coach at Tulane.
For the first time since 2022, all 3 in bowl games. Mississippi State going to the Mayo Bowl, Southern Miss, the New Orleans Bowl, and of course Ole Miss in the college football playoffs. Pretty good take there for Mississippi schools that all 3 make bowls.
It really is. It says a lot about the state of college football and probably the state of high school football in Mississippi. I guess that's happened before, but I can't remember exactly.
2022 was the last time it happened.
Oh, really? That recently? Well, that's impressive.
One more thing before we take our first break. We lost a good one this week, Neil. Coach David Varnell passed away. He was one of the good guys, not only in sports, but in Southwest Mississippi.
A good guy and a good friend and a pillar in the community. I hadn't talked to David in probably 3 months. Saw him and his brother, Rick, and their buddy, Bill Michael, all three good guys. And David looked good when I saw him. Talked to him briefly, but I certainly hate to do that. Funeral will be Monday at Hartman's, visitation at 12, and service at 2. God bless the Varnell family.
That's for sure. We'll come back. Our first guest this morning, Darien Dorsey, the head coach of Brookhaven, right after this. Good Friday morning, everybody. Welcome back to Chasing Foul Balls. Glad to have you with us. On the phone with us, the head coach of the 5A state champion Brookhaven Panthers, Coach Darien Dorsey. How are you, Coach?
Yeah, how you all doing this morning?
Man,
I'm definitely great.
We're having a good day. It's a Friday morning. One of my favorite pictures from the state championship game had to be the one with you holding that gold ball above your head and looking up at it. What was the thoughts that Darien Dorsey was having when he was presented that gold ball as state 5A champion?
Well, first of all, I was definitely blessed, and it was a surreal moment because it was all the work that you put in all season long to prepare for this moment. It was just nothing like it. So I was definitely just in a surreal moment, and I was just happy for the kids. At the end of the day, for the kids, for the Brookhaven community, and I just love to see all the smiles on their faces.
You went by the Remember Why slogan this year. What was behind that slogan?
Okay, well, last year, we finished off in the South State Championship game, and we lost to Goshen. So we had definitely a bad feeling, a bad taste in our mouth after that game. And at that time, Tucker Peavy thought about the slogan, Remember Why, on the T-shirt. So when we started doing the off-season workout, that they can remember the reason why we're grinding in the weight room, the reason why we're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning for workout. And if they continue to remember why, stay humble, continue to work, and put in the work and get ready for the next season, it'll pay off. So we grind throughout the summer. We pushed the kids to the limit, and they were ready to roll the first game. And of course, we just had a successful season, and we end up being 5A state champions.
Coach Dorsey, Neil Randall, congratulations again. What a fantastic achievement. Even in your first year as a head man with the Panthers. I've heard a lot about the number of talented players you have, seniors I'm referring to. Tell us a little bit about who's getting some looks to go on to play at the next level.
All right, well, first of all, it starts off with number 2, Jeremy Bill. Right now, currently, he's representing Brookhaven High School football in the Mississippi-Alabama game, which right now he's in Hattiesburg preparing for that. So right now he's a very talented young man. Right now he's getting looked at Colin as far as being committed there. I'm assuming he's up there getting some other looks at some other schools. So right now he's committed to Colin. Also, we have E.J. Ratliff, play defensive back for us. He's also committed to Colin to play defensive back. He's also in the Blackwell North and South game, which will be played next Saturday, I think on December the 20th. So he'll definitely probably get some more looks there. We've got a couple other guys against some more junior college looks. Caden Quarles, our running back, also committed to Colin. We got a linebacker, Darrell Washington. He also just got selected to play in the Blackwell North-South game. So he also committed to Colin. So right now, we got a lot of our key guys committed to Colin, and now I'm assuming they're going to get some more school looking at them as far as trying to persuade them away from Colin. So I'm definitely blessed with those guys right there getting look. We got a couple of guys from Fabian Washington to Randy Jones to Dreamer Heron, also getting some great looks. So we got a lot of guys who are getting some looks at these schools. So like you said before, we were definitely blessed with talent this year at the senior level. So I just pray that each one of them get an opportunity to play at the next level and represent Brookhaven football.
Coach Dorsey, this is Richard Hay. Congratulations once again on achieving a great goal for you and the community and your players. As I saw the score at halftime, I believe it was 19-7, and I realized looking at some history of the season, at West Point had only given up 21 points in a whole game twice during the season. And as I saw the final score, I realized that they had not scored a point. Y'all had scored, I think, 3 touchdowns. What my question was at that moment, and thinking about talking to you this morning, what was your message at halftime? How was the psyche of the team going down? Because as we said earlier, West Point's a staple in their division. You can just almost write them down every year. So what was the psyche going into halftime, and what was your message to have your team come out and play like they did in the second half?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, let me give my condolences to West Point, Coach Morgan. Coach Morgan has done a phenomenal job at West Point getting those guys ready to compete year in, year out for state championships. So I was definitely blessed to be able to play against that caliber of team. As far as what we said during halftime, people don't know, it really wasn't anything negative because we were actually consistently moving the ball. We were stopping them on defense. We just kept making mistakes as far as turning the ball over. So I just told them we could just stop turning the ball over and eliminate mistakes. We'll be fine. So that's what we did the second half. We didn't have any turnovers, any mistakes, and every time we was on offense, we scored. And then on defense, our defensive on that side of the ball ended up scoring also. So it was just the point of just everybody just calm down, continue to play Brookhaven football, eliminate mistakes, and we'll be fine.
Coach Dorsey, Neil here again. The three of us sitting around this table this morning have seen a lot of high school football over the years, a lot of championship games, a lot of great support. But if you would, for a second, talk about the support from the Brookhaven community throughout the year and at the championship game, and what it meant to your team to have so many people there.
Yeah, when I got my interview, when I got the job, the first thing I said was Brookhaven is very, very passionate about their sports. And one thing about their sports, they love their football here. So I knew when I took this job, I knew I was going to have the support of the community as far as supporting these kids and supporting me. On Thursday night, it was a testament to how much they really love these kids, the Brookhaven community. We probably actually looked like we had more fans than West Point, and West Point is right the street from Starkville. So I was definitely very, very impressed, not shocked, but impressed with how many people just continue to support us through the rain, through the cold. It don't matter what the atmosphere or the condition was, they were going to support this program. So I'm definitely blessed to be able to have the support of the community. They love these guys, and I'm very fortunate to be the head coach here at Brookhaven.
How was it riding and being in that Christmas parade at Brookhaven after winning the state championship?
Oh, man, phenomenal. Just seeing how many people coming out. And I tell you what now, it was cold out there. It was cold out there. But just to see how many people came out to sit out in the cold and just to recognize our guys and support them and cheer them on when they rolled by them on the trailer, it was just an amazing sight to see. I mean, I'm telling you, I was just so impressed and just so blessed. I mean, it teared me up a couple of times just walking down just to see everybody out cheering on these guys, because it was what the Brookhaven community needed. They needed to come together as a group, because people always talk about a lot of negative things in Brookhaven, but this is the first time there's something positive that we can talk about that everybody can be a part of and enjoy. And I'm just blessed to be again, like I said, the head coach here at Brookhaven.
Coach Dorsey, Richard Hay once again. When you started the season, everybody's aspiration is to win a state championship. Throughout the season, what were some of the ebb and flows? What were some of the things that you got better at along the way? Some of the things that maybe you didn't do so well in the middle part? And it's a long season, a long time. But when you culminated in the final championship game, what are some of the things that surprised you the most about your team that you'd been hoping along the way they would get better at and continue it till you won the state championship?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to go back to the summertime when we finally put together our new coaching staff, and I told the coaching staff the expectation is totally different because the talent that we have, I expect for us to be in the state championship. And they used that as motivation also during the summer to get these guys ready. They didn't let anything slide. They pushed those guys to the limit. So by the end of July, you can kind of see that they done bought into what we were trying to do here, which is win the championship. Now, going into the season, of course, we just rode that good vibe of practicing hard during the summer, and we won our first 3 games. And then, of course, ended up beating Madison Central was a huge, huge confidence builder for us. But I think we got somewhat distracted of what the big goal is, just try to get better every week. We played against a very talented Macomb team, had a couple of setbacks and lost by 2. So we went back to the drawing board, went back to work, and then played Northwest Rankin the next week, which is another 7A school, which we were very competitive the first half. We was up 10-0, and then we end up letting them score right before halftime. And then we ended up going up by 10. Then after that, they scored back-to-back touchdowns and ended up winning. So those back-to-back games that we lost was a humbling experience for all of us. It made us go back to work. We ended up fixing some things here and there, and then we ended up going on a run. So now toward the playoff time, the key thing is people don't know this. Everybody was finally healthy. We were healthy. We had some guys who were banged up through the district run, but everybody was healthy and everybody was locked in as far as getting the opportunity to compete for a championship. So we were locked in. We played hard all 4 games, and the rest is history. And so when we got to West Point, all the stuff that we went through throughout the game, we were ready for it. We were battle-tested just because of the stuff we went through throughout the season. So it did not surprise me, the outcome of the game on Thursday night, just because I know my team. I know what we've been through throughout the entire season. Our coaching staff did a phenomenal job of preparing them week in and week out to be ready to compete, and we ended up winning it.
You talked about the seniors on this team, Coach, but you have a couple of other guys I'd like to mention to you, get your feelings of. Jeremy Bibbs, and, of course, the sophomore Hampton Smith, who had over 20 tackles in that championship game.
Mm-hmm.
What about those two guys?
Yeah. Jeremy Bibbs, of course, like I say, he's the spark to our team. I mean, he's very passionate about the game of football. Of course, you see him on every snap trying to get to the quarterback. That's his job. But as far as the young sophomore Hampton, that joker would run through this wall if he could. He just loved competing. He loved football. He loved his teammates. And he'll do whatever it takes. Whatever we ask him to do, he would do it. And he's going to do it full speed. And it was just a testament to all his hard work on display on Thursday night. He had 20, 21 tackles, somewhere around there, and competed his behind out. I know y'all played to the game. West Point got some huge linemen, like huge, 6'3", 6'4" linemen. And Hampton just ran through them like they wasn't there to make the play. So that's just a testament to how much talent we have at the senior level and also how much talent we have coming up. So the future here is bright, right here in Brookhaven. So I'm very excited for that.
A couple of coaches you worked under to get some experience at Brookhaven, Tommy Clopton and Tucker Peavy, they had to be a big influence on how you operate. Oh, yes,
man. Those are 2 mentors in my life that I turn to for advice all the time. And one thing I want to say with Tommy Clopton, man, I'm just so blessed that he gave me an opportunity to coach here in Brookhaven. He hired me back in 2012 when I was coaching in Georgia. I was looking to come home. I ended up getting married, and me and my wife were from Mississippi, and we were staying in Georgia at the time, so we were trying to find somewhere to work at closer to home because we just didn't know anybody in Georgia because we started having kids and we didn't have no babysitters. So Tommy gave me the opportunity to coach here in Brookhaven. So we know come here to Brookhaven. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. And then with Coach Peavy, man, that's my guy right there. He's anything I need, any course I need during this journey as far as being a head coach here, he has helped me out. I probably talk to him at least 4 or 5 times a week, just to piggyback on some ideas I have and some stuff he did last year and kind of put those 2 ideas together and go from there. So I'm just blessed with 2 really, really good mentors who helped me through this process, helped me through this journey. And I'm just happy to have them in my life.
The head coach of the 5A state champion football team, the Brookhaven Panthers, Coach Darien Dorsey. Coach, thanks for being with us on this Friday morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. And like I said, I just thank you throughout the year just having me on, and I'm just blessed to be able to coach here in Brookhaven, to be able to spread the word about the team I have and the coaches.
You got a good one. You got a bunch of good ones coming back, so we look forward to talking to you next year. Good luck, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll come back. Cliff Furr with the All Sports up next here on Chasing Foul Balls.
Sports. And now sports.
You're listening to Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming everywhere on the SuperTalk Mississippi app. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank and brought to you by East Macomb Body Shop and Guy's Pharmacy. Now back to Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5.
Well, the final high school poll came out. Brookhaven finished number 3 in the state. Columbia, number 4. Park Lane, number 15 as far as schools from our southwest Mississippi area. And speaking of sports in southwest Mississippi, I tell you, Cliff Furr joins us. And Cliff, you couldn't pick a better year to start y'all's sports, could you?
Yeah, Robbie, I kind of knew it was coming, being a Brookhaven guy and, teaching at the junior high like I have for a number of years now. I knew that there was a special group, and I've been able to watch these kids grow up, and that was part of the timing for y'all sports starting this year for sure.
The championship game at Tupelo, at Starkville for Brookhaven had to be one of the more exciting games you had a chance to cover.
It really was. I think that the one thing that made it so exciting, Robbie, is the fact that once Brookhaven got up, once they had 3, consecutive touchdowns to go ahead, with West Point being a running team, you knew that there was no chance for them to come back. 32-19 felt like 42-0, or 31-19. And so once midway through the third quarter, all through the fourth quarter, the Brookhaven defense just kept shutting the door over and over again, and it was just a big party, man. Everybody was dancing in the stands, waving their pom poms. It was cold, it was rainy, the weather was nasty, but you never would have known that if you were looking at the Brookhaven fans.
A lot of Brookhaven fans said that maybe Cliff Furr could become a cheerleader at Brookhaven after he had to do the work he did on the sidelines. I'm not even going to say that I was a non-biased media member or anything like that. My daughter's a junior at Brookhaven High, and I just know the quality of the kids on that team. And so, man, I'll tell you a little quick story. I hadn't told anybody this before, but after the this year's seniors went 1-9 or maybe it was 1-10. I think it was 1-9 as freshmen. Coach Tucker Peavy was still the coach at that time, and I'm talking about the Monday after the last game. They beat South Jones last game. They started sending a bus over here to Alexander Junior High to get these 8th graders and to take them over and work them out with their future varsity teammates. And I'm talking about
hard workouts, Robbie. The kids would come to class the next day, and they'd be walking all, like their legs are killing them. I'm like, what are y'all doing out there? Man, Coach, they had us squatting, doing front squats and this and that. And they had us competing in this pull and that race and that. And I think that's kind of been the secret sauce for this championship run is the work that's been going on over the last couple of years, really.
Cliff, this is Richard Hay. I think the first time we talked to you, you had just kind of started your y'all sports coverage, and thinking at the end of the football season, looking at the number of teams that won state championships in just basically southwest Mississippi. Talk about some of those teams and talk about how much – I guess it's a good fortune to have that you had so many good teams to cover in the southwest area.
Yeah, Richard, you're exactly right. Wesson, Lloyd Star, that was a great game for us this year. I wasn't even at that one. My kids were there sending me updates and giving me videos from that. It wound up being a really great game, and Lloyd Star had a great season, and Wesson had a great season. I really enjoyed getting to cover Park Lane for the first time. Ron Rushing is a good friend of mine. We go way back. And, I told somebody during the year, they asked me after Park Lane won the championship, and they said, hey, who's a good public school program that you'd like to see Park Lane play against? And I said, I'd like to see him play Heidelberg. And the person that I said that to, they just looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, I think Park Lane that'd be a great matchup. They're similar sized schools, and I'm a big fan of that Park Lane team this year. And if you watch Heidelberg lose to East Webster did a lot of the things that Park Lane does well with the way they're able to throw the ball in space. So Brookhaven Academy kind of making their little Cinderella run there late in the year. It's just been look. I wish I had a football game to go to tonight, because this is the first time in like 15 weeks that I don't have a high school football game to cover this week. And so it's been an awesome first year of y'all sports.
Cliff, Neil Randall, first of all, let me congratulate you on this venture, this undertaking that you've taken with y'all sports. I know this has been in your mind for a while, but it has come to fruition. And what was the biggest challenge you had, and what was the biggest surprise you had as you went out and started y'all sports, which I might add has been very, very successful?
Yeah, thank you, Neil. I mean, you guys have definitely been an inspiration to me. The way that you've shined the light on kids, I haven't really. I guess the biggest challenge is just the fact that you can't be everywhere, but I did. I said that I was going to cover 5 counties as close as possible. And in those 5 counties are 16 schools, and I saw all 16 of them play, high school football this year in person. So that was really important to me, because I don't ever want to be somebody that says, oh, this team is good or that player's good if I haven't seen them with my own eyes. It's something I take a lot of pride in. And so, that's a challenge as far as like juggling. Will I do that every year? I don't know. Because when you do that, sometimes you miss, games like I wasn't able to go to like Poplarville, Macomb, or I wasn't able to go to Madison Central, Brookhaven High. But, if I could, but my kids are getting older. My daughter and my son and my sister helps me, and then I've got other people. So it's not just me. I've had a lot of great help this year.
Cliff, this is Richard. Hey, once again, you saw a lot of football games, as you just alluded to. You saw a lot of good teams, and you saw teams, as we just talked about, that went on to win state championships or play deep in the playoffs. Who's some of those teams that you saw a few things wrong, but you said, boy, these guys next year or the following year are going to be good because they've got maybe not the big enough athletes at this time, but they're coming. Who are some of those surprise teams down the road?
Man, I think South Pike is even though they're losing Micah Nickerson, they've got some big younger kids, and they've got Cornbread Adams, it's a really dynamic playmaker that he's only going to get better. Doug Wansley is a good running back that missed a lot of the year this year. Also, a really cool surprise was Wesson. BP Robbins, if you look at his numbers, first-year starting quarterback, I don't know many kids in Mississippi as a whole who had years like that. And to know that he's coming back and that his top receiver, Demarion Smith, is coming back, I think people are going to really enjoy watching Wesson football again next year.
Cliff, this is Neil again. In this five-county area that you covered this year, who was the top 2 or 3 players that you saw this year in your coverage area?
2 of my favorites. One at Brookhaven on the defensive side of the ball, Jeremy Bibbs. He's a guy that committed to Co-Lin. He's going to wind up going to Co-Lin. Somebody asked me during the game why he wasn't higher ranked. Well, he's people have known that he was going to be a junior college guy all year long. And so when you're in that tier of recruiting, you don't get as much publicity. But he will go to Co-Lin and he'll move to outside linebacker. And if he goes up there and takes care of what he's supposed to take care of as far as like books and stuff like that, when he leaves Co-Lin, he'll be able to sign with anybody in the country as an outside linebacker. I'm talking Georgia, Alabama. He's that talented. He's just got to grow up a little, and he's got to get his books in order. But I'm a big fan of his. And then the other one would be Bam Peters at Macomb, the tight end transferred from Hammond. If Bam doesn't, Broderick Peters Jr. is his name. If Bam doesn't come from Hammond, then Macomb probably is 3 or 4 less wins on their schedule. He was just a for real difference maker, and I'm super excited to know that he's going to be a Southern Miss Golden Eagle because I think he's got some great football ahead of him.
Tell us about y'all sports. What's next? What you're looking at? How you going to expand it? Tell me about it.
Well, I'm on the basketball now, and I go to a basketball game a week involving somebody in my coverage area. Sometimes I go to 2, and just really try to get you pictures and get you a little bit of commentary, a little bit of letting you know who the best players are as far as basketball goes in Southwest Mississippi. So I'm on to that. I'm still writing a couple columns every week. I write a non-sports column every week that I really enjoy, kind of just going around and writing about folks in Southwest Mississippi outside of athletics. I've had some talks with some folks. There's some maybe interest of us maybe doing something like a weekly show. Brandon Shamatara did a game of the week with me, and we kind of want to keep something going. So I could see us maybe doing like a little live hour every week. We're still kind of figuring that out. And I've been spotlighting offensive lines of the week for Stan King. That's kind of like a feature they sponsored. And I'm probably going to move on to like a senior spotlight, specifically like a senior signee spotlight, because we've got so many kids in Southwest Mississippi that have signed scholarships to play places at the next level next year. And there's just a lot of interesting stories in those signees. And so you can't tell all their stories, but there's some that I want to, pick out and let folks know, okay, hey, if you're a Southwest fan and you got Kelly Burgess coming from Enterprise to play baseball, here's a little bit about Kelly and who's here he is and here's what he does well. So we're going to do some of that as well.
Give us the address. How do we go about seeing y'all sports?
Yep, so I'm on Facebook. That's where I post a lot of stuff. If you just search Y'all Sports, you'll see my logo. It's the state of Mississippi. I'm just under 15,000 followers. I'd love to get over that hump. Friday nights were always big for me. I mean, on a typical Friday night, I'd pick up 250, 300, 400 followers on Friday night because people would be on the Facebook following along with scores. I have an Instagram, it's Y'all Sports, and then the website, which is y'allsportsms.com.
Cliff, you have a very good job getting started with Y'all Sports. We sure enjoy looking and trying to keep up with what's going on in Southwest Mississippi. What do you see as far as basketball? Are there some good teams left in this area, basketball-wise?
Yeah, it's not. I've been kind of like going and watching, and like as far as Park Lane girls are going to be, they're good. Brookhaven Academy girls are having a solid year. Brookhaven High girls are good, but for me, I've been real spoiled the last couple of years because Bogue Chitto was so good. I knew that, hey, Bogue Chitto is going to go to the Coliseum every year in boys basketball. West Lincoln girls before that. I really like the West Lincoln girls. I caught them the other night. But, yeah, it does kind of feel like maybe it's not as overpowering year for basketball in this area, but there are some good teams and there are some good players. I can't wait to get down there and see Carlisle Caruth and Zoe Alford and those Park Lane Academy Lady Pioneers soon.
Well, Cliff, thanks for joining us this morning. We sure have enjoyed y'all sports, no doubt about it, and we'll be talking to you during the basketball season.
Hey, Richard, Reese, Robbie, man, you guys are awesome, and I appreciate y'all having me on so much, and I definitely would not be doing what I'm doing if it hadn't been for all y'all have done for me over the years.
We'll talk to you next time.
All right, buddy.
Cliff Furr, Y'all Sports. We'll come back. Big Daddy's next right here on Chasing Foul Balls. Welcome back, Chasing Foul Balls. Thanks to Cliff Furr with Y'all Sports and the head coach of Brookhaven Panthers, Coach Darien Dorsey, for joining us on this Friday morning. Now, Big Daddy's with us, Richard Hay and Neil Randall. How y'all doing, Mr. Nunry?
I'm doing great, sir, Mr. Hamilton.
Explain to me what happened last Friday. We were talking, and Huff was probably going to be back another year, and then Saturday morning, he done took the job at Memphis State.
Yeah. All I can tell you, Robbie, is if their lips are moving, they're telling a lie.
That sounds like politicians.
Yeah, just like it.
Same thing, isn't it?
It's amazing. I mean, don't ever let one tell you he's happy here and wants to stay here the rest of his life. I mean, he signed his own dismissal sheet when he does that, because they're going to turn right around and leave on you.
What's about Mr. Anderson? You excited to have him as your head coach?
Kind of just glad for it to be over, right? When the turmoil is going on, you don't want to get caught up in the middle of this. It's not over with, and it may not be over with for another couple of months as dominoes keep falling all around, but I think Blake was the one that when we hired him that they was kind of plan B if something happened to Huff. And Blake's, he won 9 bowl games, better 9 bowl games in 10 years as head coach. In his 2 stops, got a pretty proven record. I guess the most encouraging thing is seems like the players really like the choice. When it was introduced yesterday to the players, they just went wild. So that's a good sign. If the players want to play for you, that's probably step number 1.
Are college football fans the most emotional sports fans they are?
I think so, Robbie. I think they, unfortunately, your day is made by how well your college team does. You're up one day and down the next. But I guess that's why why a fan is a short word for fanatic. So that's what we are.
Reese, this is probably an impossible question, but with the NIL business and the portal, any idea what might take place with Southern Miss as far as player movement?
No, I don't. Not right now, Neil. Again, an encouraging thing, and again, I don't know whether I'm truthful it'll be or not, but every one of our players has said they're going to stay through the bowl game, which is the first big step is to keep them through the bowl game these days, and then. I'm sure there'll be some defections both ways, and always is. But hopefully, you keep the core together with keeping a coach that knows that they know and that knows them. So, but again, it's going to be how much money is in the hat. I reckon is the way it's always seen. What they say they used to bring the money in the back door, now they bring it in the front door. So.
Are doing it electronically.
Yeah.
Reese, one final thing here from me before we get back to the other guys. What about Braylon Braxton? Is he completely healed up? Will he be 100% for the bowl game?
All indications are he'll be close to 100%. He's been very vocal about staying and winning this bowl game. So he's one of they have a leadership council on the team, and he's kind of the head of that, so that's a good sign.
Reese, this is Richard. Talk about something from USM Sports. Little positive, little excitement. Missy Bilderback, we weren't surprised with her to take over the Lady Eagles women's program, but probably maybe some insiders, but not many of us outsiders probably thought that she would get off to as good a start as she has.
Well, I think we hit a home run with Missy. I was adamant for her, even when I was afraid when we lost her to Monroe that we wasn't going to get her back. Of course, we're so glad to get her back. I just think she's a home run hitter, and I think she's going to do great things. And yeah, the women's basketball program, USM, along with the baseball program, is probably the two bright spots we got going right now.
And Reese, back to football. What's the outcome down the road? I know we're looking into a hourglass trying to figure out what's going on, but I'm getting concerned about the structure of college football going forward.
Yeah, me and you both. I tell you, I don't know how it's going. I don't know how the building's going to stand up. I mean, it's being fractured in all directions with all the things that are going on, and I just think somebody's got to step in. I don't know who it'll be. The NCAA doesn't seem to have any teeth anymore, whether it's going to be Congress or what. It's going to have to enforce some or enact some structure to this NIL deal, so we at least go on a contract like they are at pro ball, so you know what you got and where you can predict what you got coming back.
Well, Reese, I tell you what, it's no such thing as a quiet week in football, is it?
No, not. It won't be for a while, Robbie, till I guess we get spring training. Maybe then things kind of settle down.
We appreciate you being with us again on Friday morning, Big Daddy Reese Dundry. We'll be talking with him next week right here on Chasing Foul Balls.
Good deal, Robbie.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, guys, I tell you what, another exciting week to say the least. Real quick, let's see if we can get it in. I think we got, 2 minutes to go. I tell you what, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold it to next week on the Michigan deal. We don't have enough time to really get totally involved in it. Congratulations to the Southwest Stage Band on a tremendous 4 nights of their program they had over at Southwest. And also congratulations to the teams that won state championships, 5A Brookhaven and 4A Columbia in the public school and the private school, 4A Park Lane 2A Central and 3A ACCS. And we will join you next Friday morning right here for Chasing Foul Balls on Super Talk Pike County.
Play. You remember how it used to be. I love the way that you would dance with me, rocking and rolling till the clock unwinds, and then we'd holler out one more time. Don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over. Well, the band just started to play my favorite song. I just found my baby and I want to get a chance to hold her. So don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over. I said don't turn out the lights, don't turn out those lights, don't turn out the lights, the party ain't over.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.